person who has just finished a retreat with an overwhelming sense of God with them, that God is with them, we say they have a mountaintop experience. There are many mountaintop experiences in our life. Think the day of your wedding, a mountaintop experience. Well, without a doubt, God is there. Or a new job that fulfills a dream, getting into the college of your first choice, the birth of your child. Those are all mountaintop experiences, sensing without a doubt, God is with me. God is wonderful, and my faith has been increased in God, strengthened in God. And it's a time to say, Lord, it is good that we are here. There are also the everyday experiences of the mountaintop. In those days, we can also say, Lord, it is good that we are here. Watching your child take their first step. Holidays with the whole family around the table and everyone getting along. Having coffee with your best friend. Having great seats at the opening of the baseball season. Watching a grandchild perform at a kindergarten play. Making the high school soccer team. These are moments that come along in the day that when we feel we are on the mountaintop, and with Peter we can say, it is good that we are here. And we thank God for these times. Without our doubt, we can say our faith is strong. There is nothing better than this. And thank you, God. And we do that very sincerely because we feel the presence of God in these moments. In these moments of mountaintop experience that happen periodically, or in those everyday mountaintop experiences. However, our lives aren't always as comfortable as Peter describes. We have experiences when we cannot say, it is good that we are here. In fact, there are even times when we say, we don't want to be here and would rather be anywhere else. Not sick, not without a job, not struggling with relationships, not struggling in school, not in the process of a divorce, not undergoing chemotherapy, not in the wrong job. We don't say it is good that we are here. When we look at life, we know there are highs and lows in life and everything in the middle. And in those lows and in the middle, we may not feel the presence of God. We might even doubt or question the presence of God. Where is God today with everything I'm going? It is in the lows and in the middle that Jesus is present. And we hear it. As the disciples Peter, James, and John were coming down the mountain with Jesus, this is what they said. The gospel says, as they were coming down from the mountain, he charged them, Jesus. So he's saying, you see, Jesus was walking down the mountain with them. Jesus came down the mountain with them, walking with them in the middle and in the lows. Jesus too walks with us in the lows of our life and in the middles of our life. There Jesus is present. Now, we certainly can't always feel that, but it is God's presence and loving us that will never leave us. Not just in those highs when we have without a doubt God is present, but it's in the lows when we question, where are you, God? For all these times, God is present. Catherine of Siena wrote, "For the servant of God, every place is the right place, and every time is the right time." God is present all the time, and every time is the right time for God to be with us. Every time and every place is the right time for God to be with us. It reminds us, yes, that we need to take time to listen. As God said on the mountaintop to those Peter, James, and John about Jesus, he said, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." For us to take time to listen and know God is with us. Now, this listening to God, we may not hear it in the very moment of our life, but perhaps when we look back on it, we can see, yes, even in the midst of trials, God is present. And it is when we listen to God, we do not get to just pick the good stuff that we want to hear from God. And sometimes we even find ourselves telling God what we want God to tell us. That sure would be a lot easier in our lives. But God does hear us. And God invites us to listen to him, to what he has to say. And what God says to us and shares with us in the midst of the highs, the lows, and even in the middle, God says, "I am with you." And we trust that. Our faith in Jesus invites us to a deeper trust. A deeper trust in Jesus, that even in the midst of when we question, well, where's God in this low moment of my life? That we trust that God is there, gracing us with his presence, walking with us down the mountain, as he did with Peter, James, and John. And yes, even hearing God's voice in the midst of the trials, the suffering, pain, and loss. Even when it seems to be God's voice is commanding the suffering. No. It is God who is with us in all of that. God is present to us in the highs, in the lows, and everywhere in between. The voice of God desires only our blessing. Trust and know God is always with us. In the highs, in the mountaintop experiences, in the lows, and everywhere in between.